more wood.
Post at the bottom.
Did you see that rush of water come in down there?
Nah.
No, it's still coming in. Can you see that?
No.
Walk more over there, or I'll grab your belt buckle, or... Oh, yeah. You can see it squirting up like a geyser. Here, stand where I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome. Marty, come look at this.
After being alerted to the discovery of a potential flood tunnel in the uplands near Smith's Cove, possibly the same one identified by recent seismic imaging, Marty Lagina joins Craig Tester, Jack Begley, Gary Drayton, and Billy Gerhardt to inspect the site and continue the investigation.
The water's squirting up from the bottom. You'll see it in the back corner.
Oh, yeah. Do we know if it's fresh or salt?
Don't know.
Can't say we found the flood tunnel itself, but what I see and hear is a lot of water rushing in. And it appears to be rushing in from the uphole side, in other words, from the landward side. This, to me, is very impressive.
Base is giving a little bit. Now you can see a crack up and through here.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Oh, wow, that whole edge is about to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yep, let's go. Yep. This is all getting kind of dangerous.
Yeah, this is not so.
That was a big enough piece where that whole bridge could go.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting out of here. It's not worth it.
unfortunately for the team, the flood tunnel did what it was designed to do more than 2 centuries ago: frustrate the efforts of would-be treasure hunters to shut off the flow of water to the booby-trap system that guards the money pit.
It's all caving in now.
He's lost a ton of holes.
About a ton.
Do we need to see anything more there?
I just think it's gonna cave in too fast.
I'd say put enough in there to make that stable.
Yeah.
All right, mate, let's reposition.
In order to stabilize the area against further cave-ins, the team will now need to act quickly in order to backfill the hole. Unfortunately, this also means that any further digging in search of the main flood tunnel will have to wait until the ground has settled.
We take some risks out here, and this is a dangerous place. It'd just be foolhardy to keep digging. Wouldn't have made any sense. It was sloughing all the time.
Did hit significant water. You can put a line on that towards the money pit.
I think we may have to give up on that one.
For now.
I think we're all quite excited that it could be the so-called flood tunnel booby trap system. Of course, we're going to investigate. We have to see what it looks like.
That's amazing. 2 things. I'm gonna look, but he's done. He's undermining right there. There's hardly anything left. That's not good. Where's your rock? Over in that corner?
No, it was right. It was.
It's right here, right? I heard you hitting on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a rock.
I'll look. Well, you basically got a slit down below. There's wood on the left, your left, and it looks like a tunnel to me going that way. But it's probably 15 feet off bottom at least.
Has the Oak Island team finally found the main flood tunnel? The one which searchers have been trying to locate and shut off for more than 2 centuries?
This is obviously not very stable.
Yep.
I don't like the looks of it. All right, well, maybe we should try mounting the camera on the side of the bucket right now. I think that's a great idea. Can you rig that up, Scott?
Yep.
Just a minute, yeah.
The problem with doing this the simple way, which with a long-reach excavator, is that we do not have a stable hole. I mean, if we had dug a big pit with stable sides, then we could go down and look at it. But it's not safe to do that. So we're going to lower a camera on the excavator arm itself. The object is to find out what's going on here.
Tell me which way you want to go.
In a little, towards you. Yeah, no, down.
Still in the wall. He's got to go lower.
Okay, down. Look at that.
There's all kinds of wood everywhere.
There is definitely structure on the left wall.
Yeah. It's got to go this way.
Stop! Doesn't that look like it's a hole?
It's a hole, but is it a tunnel?
Well, looks like it's braced with wood to me.
If it's a tunnel, it'd be great.
Well, I think it is. Man, it doesn't look good under there. Let's get out of here. I think we got what we need to get, Billy. Come on up. All right, Rick, we got the data. We need to put our heads together and see what the heck this means. Let's convene in the war room and discuss all this.
Okay.
Pretty cool, real cool. Gents, we're here to talk about the uplands and what we've done, what it means, where we go from here. So I think we're gonna start out with that video that we took. Here we go.
This is down 30 feet.
There's a lot of rock in between those.
Yeah.
Let's pause that.
Okay, so what are we looking at? What is that? Is it a tunnel that's been filled with rock?
It could have been a collapsed tunnel or shaft. That's what it looks like to me. That's wood on either side. And you have this piece right here. It looks like a beam. I mean, you can see the wood at the bottom coming out, so I'd say it's probably a shaft or a tunnel.
Wow.
You see the
You can see the double layer there.
double wall.
That looks like a tunnel to me. I mean, it goes in there.
It seemed like you followed wood the whole way down.
How thick are those boards? 2 inches plus?
Yep. The ones on the right were, the ones on the left were a little bit narrower. The ones on the right were much more substantial.
Which one? This one?
No, to your upper right.
Keep going.
Here?
Right there.
You're right, this one right there. What I've got tagged this year, we've got this little, you can see up on the screen, right here. You can see it lines up, calculated by Craig.
Purely going off of the U-shaped structures, assuming that the U-shaped structure was put in there with a specific purpose.
It looks more tunnel-like than shaft-like.
Yeah, because it's just hard to picture that being a searcher effort, isn't it? What I'm getting at is the 1769s, which means that if it comes back old, it almost has to be original work.
That's right. That's right.
The dendrochronology, if it puts that wood that we got, if it says that's, you know, pre-money pit discovery, then yeah, then you pretty much have to say, geez, very good chance it's part of the flood tunnel. If that data comes back old, we're right back at this thing.
That's where the bad news comes in. We have to pull the sheet pile. We have a timeline for that, a very specific timeline. But there's still great hope for Smith's Cove. I don't think we can put an X through it. So, you know, Smith's Cove isn't done.
Although the team has found promising evidence of the main flood tunnel, they are faced with a disappointing and unfortunate reality. In less than 24 hours, representatives from Irving Equipment Limited are set to arrive and begin staging heavy equipment at the Smith's Cove area in order to remove the massive steel cofferdam. Because this operation will take several weeks and will make working at Smith's Cove and the nearby uplands virtually impossible, Rick, Marty, and the team will now have to suspend their search activities in the area for the rest of the year.
Look, you know, it's obvious, isn't it? If you have undisturbed soil and then a bunch of wood and then undisturbed soil, that sure sounds like a tunnel to me.
It's about where the so-called flood tunnel needs to be. We're not going to give up on something like that. But having said all that, our permits aren't going to allow us to do any more excavation this year. We're done. Okay, guys, well, here's what I heard. Lots of interesting stuff, but the key piece of data is yet to come. We're all keenly interested in the dendro results on the question mark shaft, and that could lead us, well, could lead us just about anywhere. But in the meantime, I know, Billy, you got a lot of work to do because that sheet pile has to come out. So, back at it. Good meeting.
All right, what do we got? What do we got?
I think we've opened up a wooden Pandora's box here. I mean, look at all these timbers. All different sizes and shapes.
I think we might have hit a collapsed tunnel. Some sort of linear feature of wood that got disturbed.
Huh. Excuse me, Gary. I'm gonna go have a look.
We've only just got into it, so we figured we'd give you a call and see what you make of it before we dig it out.
Maybe we cut through the fabled flood tunnel. Now we have to follow it back. It could be yet another clue as to where the original money pit was. So let's go dig it up.
Come here, look at this. Is this coconut fiber? I think there's big chunks of coconut fiber.
That is very interesting.
Look at this, Rick. You think that's coconut fiber?
That is interesting. Well, it's hair-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's clumped as well.
Yeah, no, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
The presence of coconut fiber is curious, not only because the nearest indigenous coconut trees are more than 1,500 miles away from Oak Island, but also because it was discovered by Daniel McGinnis and his team some 60 feet deep in the original money pit in 1804, and then by members of the Truro Company at Smith's Cove in 1850. It was there that a massive layer of it was discovered, covering and acting as a filter for the 5 stone box drains, which converge into the main flood tunnel that the team is currently looking for. If the material the team has found can be scientifically verified to be coconut fiber, it could mean the team is closer than ever to finding and shutting off the booby trap that has thwarted efforts to excavate the money pit for more than 2 centuries.
How much of it is there, Jack?
There's a lot of it over here.
You'd need a lot to pack a lot of treasure.
We need to bag this. So let's try to get a sample without touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Just
do
open
that.
the bag and use the bag like a glove.
Oh, yeah, there's a big chunk of it.
That's it, grab a big clump.
Look at that. And there's still a bunch more.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more right there.
Yep. This bit of coconut fiber makes me think that we might be into original works.
There's a lot going on right here. Rather massive structure going on here. Yes.
There are only a few things that I find absolutely unique to this quest, to this search, and one of them is coconut fiber.
I want a definitive test, science-based, that it is indeed coconut fiber.
So do I, Rick.
Is that enough of this, Rick?
Yeah, that's enough.
I'll put it to safety.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited about this.
Absolutely.
As a new day begins on Oak Island, and as the excavation of what could be Shaft 5 continues near Smith's Cove,
Guys, thanks for assembling on quick notice. I appreciate it.
brothers Rick and Marty Lagina have gathered members of the team in the war room to hear a scientific report via telephone conference from geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner regarding the potential coconut fiber found there 2 days ago.
Hello, Ian here.
Yeah, Ian, you've got Marty and Rick and Doug and Steve and Alex.
All the important people in the world.
Well, we'd like to think so. Sure.
Yeah,
Anyway, I know you had some information.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I took the sample back to the lab here. It was nothing like I'd ever seen, of course, in all my work. You know, it looks like human hair, to be honest with you. But it was coconut fiber.
Wow. So it's coconut fiber.
It is.
That's cool.
News that the material that the team has found is, in fact, coconut fiber is a potentially historic development. It suggests that after years of searching, Rick, Marty, and the team may finally be on the verge of locating the main flood tunnel, which was constructed more than 2 centuries ago, in order to protect something believed to be of great value buried in the money pit.
You've never seen anything like it. You've dug a lot of stuff out of the walls of soil, right?
No, I've never seen anything like that.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a natural substance that I would expect to find on Oak Island.
No, that's fabulous. I mean, we found lots of structures in Smith's Cove, but the difference is this one we found now has all this coconut fiber, and that's a pretty key difference.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, thanks for the quick info on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, good deal. Thanks.
Okay, take care. See
Cheers.
you. Bye.
Bye.
You've been questioning the lack of coconut fiber, so it's kind of cool to come up with. At least that says, yeah, at one time there was some of this here.
Something different.
It's confirmation of the old stories that they found tremendous amounts of coconut fiber when they were looking for the box drains.
And it appeared to have been placed as a filter. Restall's noted that there were gobs of it.
Not only that, but nobody else put a bunch of coconut fiber down while they were doing anything in Smith's Cove. So it represents original work.
It represents original work. And very cool. At the end of the day, we were looking for evidence that would corroborate or confirm the old story.
Yes.
Right? Now we have this evidence that it is indeed coconut fiber.
So there's some kind of original something going on here. We're certainly finding what people were originally looking for. I think we're absolutely closing in. Okay, let's go. We're gonna find it out.